We are going to discuss recovering password in this visuals, but this time we are going to recover passwords for the switch. Well, we have gone through recovering password for routers, but recovering password for switch is quite different. So let's go and discuss steps which we're going to take for recovering password for the switch. So let me go there. Okay, these are the steps we are going to follow to recover password for the switch. Number one step which we are going to follow, first we are going to discuss these steps and then going to perform these steps practically. At number one, we have to power on the switch and we have to press mod button which is on the front of the switch for approximately 6 seconds. Let me show you the mod button of my Cisco Catalyst 2950. So this is the front of the Cisco Catalyst 2950 and this is the mod button you can see here. Press this button when you power on your switch for 6 seconds. When you release this button, you will get the prompt and there you have to perform and this is the step number 2. Enter flash_init and after performing this command, perform another command which is load_helper. Well, load_helper provides you some features which you're going to follow in step 3, like renaming the startup configurations. So at number 3, you have to rename your startup configuration which is in the flash config.txt. It is the name. To change this name to config.down and config.something else you want to change to, because we have to ignore this startup configurations. And because we do not know the password. After changing the name of the startup configurations, boot the switch by entering boot command there. So it will show you that you wanna perform some initial configuration, because it ignored the startup configuration. It will act like you started the switch first time. Press no there because we are comfortable with the configurations and we are there to recover the password. Okay, now go to you will get user exec mode there. Go to privilege exec mode there and rename your changed name of startup configuration, which is config.down to config.txt back. Okay, now copy your startup configuration to running configuration by entering copy config.txt to running configurations, and things are almost done. Finally, go to global configuration mode there and enable secret and change the password. If you want to restart, go ahead. If you want to, if you don't, do not, because our lab will be completed by entering a new password. So let's go to my terminal emulator of the switch and let me perform this power on and pressing the mod button for 6 seconds. Okay, I performed both functions, both 2 steps. I powered on my switch and pressed mod button on the front of my switch for 6 seconds and it brings, you can see this prompt. Okay, at number 1 and it's showing both these 3 commands which we have to perform one by one, but first we have to perform flash_init and it is initializing the flash. And after performing this command, I have to perform this load_helper because I need to rename my startup configurations. I performed load_helper there, and now finally what I have to do, let me show you a flash here. No, I have to enter column there also, dir flash and colon directory flash colon, show me the configurations. You can see, so this is the startup configurations. Config.txt, we are going to rename this config.txt to something else so that when we boot our switch it will ignore startup configurations. So rename and flash colon config.txt text to config.down as I named while discussing the steps. Now it is renamed. Enter boot there. Now it is booting my switch, and it will come with the dialog that do you want to initial configure made some initial configurations of in the switch. So let such process completed, initializing flash fs, and it's going to show me initialization post is test Ethernet controller test post. Okay. Yes, you can see here system configuration dialog. Would you like to enter the initial configuration? No sir, because we are comfortable with the configurations. We are here to recover the password. You can see things are quite comfortable. Just rename your changed name back to old name of config.txt. I think it is okay. Yes. Okay, now the final thing is copy your startup configurations config.txt to running configurations, and we are almost done now. Final thing which is required to do, 1895 bytes copied in 2.02 seconds. Thank you. Okay, configure your terminal, and this time we have to enable secret and new passwords. I entered visuals as a password, enable secret, and things are almost done. So this is the process. No, one thing should be done. Copy running configurations to startup configurations. Okay, now we have covered this lab of recovering passwords for the switch. At first step, I powered on the switch and pressed mode button for 6 seconds. I got that mode. If you remember, I entered flash underscore init and load underscore helper one by one, but first I performed flash underscore init. Then I showed you the flash there from by dir space flash and mentioned colon also there. Then I renamed the flash config.txt to config.down, boot the switch. Then switch asked me for initial configuration. I entered no there, and then I renamed config.txt config.down back to its original name, which was config.text, and then I copied my config.text to running configurations. Then I go to a global configuration mode. There I entered enable secret and new password, and I copied my running configuration back to startup configurations. Okay, with this I am concluding this visuals. We have covered the process of recovering password for the switch. If you feel any problem, just replay these visuals and be prepared for upcoming visuals. Thank you.